Denis Sverdlov, the founder of Arrival, is stepping down as Chief Executive Officer. He is set to be replaced by Peter Cuneo, who sold Marvel Entertainment to Walt Disney. Why is this happening, and what's next for Arrival? Well, I'll do my best to answer these questions in this episode. Stay tuned. Denis Sverdlov is the former Deputy Minister of Mass Communications of Russia and an entrepreneur. He initially became famous in Russia as the CEO of a telecom startup Yota. In 2015, he founded Arrival in the UK, and he remains the company's major shareholder to this day. Arrival has been going through some very turbulent times this year. In August, I talked extensively about Arrival on my YouTube channel. I'll add a link to this episode in the corner here and the description section here below if you want to watch it. But the conclusion back then was that Arrival needed to start delivering on its promises as soon as possible, and more importantly, start getting its electric delivery vans out by the end of the year. Fast forward, and here we are. Unfortunately, the situation is not getting much better. A few more details have been revealed that didn't help stabilize the company either, such as the fact that one of the delivery vans caught fire during a demo to one of its potential customers. I believe a lot of investors were also concerned when they learned that Arrival was also working on a jet project. Arrival was once valued at $15 billion, that's now plummeted to $233 million, reflecting investors' very limited confidence in the company's future. It was only a matter of time before we'd begin to see a major change coming. As such, Denis Sverdlov will now become chair of Arrival. Avinash Rugabar, its president and head of strategy, is also stepping down. Apparently, it's not as easy to engineer and manufacture EVs as people previously thought. A growing number of people are assuming that putting together an electric vehicle is so easy that even a group of college students could do it. But the truth is that the expectations of EVs have significantly increased over the past decade thanks to Tesla and companies such as Lucid and Rivian. The baseline expectations are that EVs should be fast and should have extraordinary connectivity capabilities, including software updates. Roominess is another factor to consider among others. Once you are in the EV business, the main battlefield then becomes energy efficiency. As such, overall engineering a capable electric vehicle is a combination of many efforts across all fronts. I'm not really talking about revolutionary technology here. It's just a combination of marginal improvements that can occur all over the place, from aerodynamics to battery energy density, exceptional user interfaces, and efficient mobile apps, and there is always room for new innovations. One option would be to apply a low-cost approach and electrify existing proven gasoline engine platforms, which is becoming a popular go-to-market strategy in the US. I agree, it's a reasonable interim solution, but it will be nearly impossible for these types of players to compete against ground-up EV projects. In my view, the Amazon Rivian delivery van is in this category, as is Arrival. This approach requires a lot of capital, hard work, and motivation. Of course, it's much easier for the project to see the light at the end of the tunnel if the car maker applies a shared platform approach. Rivian, for example, has built its delivery van on the electric pickup truck architecture, which shortened the development cycle by 2-3 years. Arrival was founded 7 years ago and currently has drivable prototypes that more or less corresponds to regular automotive development cycles if we remove a couple of years of the early stage startup life. I'm not all that surprised that Arrival realized quickly that current EV technology could be reused in other segments. However, the new segments that Arrival was targeting varied a lot in terms of requirements. For example, they focused on an electric bus and car for Uber drivers. Therefore, the approach was much less viable than the one used by Rivian. The company rightly decided to freeze these projects to focus on the core activity, its delivery van development. The ending cash balance was $300 million in September, with reported losses of $310 million. The footnote mentions that this staggering loss includes $232 million worth of write-offs. In other words, the company's runway is longer than just 3 months' worth of operations. But how much longer? 6 months? 9 months? This won't be enough to commercialize the technology. Luckily, Arrival has very strong investors backing it, such as BlackRock and the Korean automotive group Hyundai. What's more, there is undeniably a lot of value in what Arrival has developed so far, with little in the way of competition. One strategy for Arrival's investors would be to make a continuation bet. In other words, they could just keep supporting the company until it's able to demonstrate its capabilities in the US. This would then reverse Arrival's stock trend on the stock exchange market, making it easier for the company to access more capital in the future. Another option, which honestly seems a bit more likely to me in light of the recent management changes at Arrival, is just to sell the company. Depending on the price expectations, I'm sure there will be many automotive players interested in this technology. Otherwise, how else can we explain the appointment of Peter Cuneo as CEO? Peter doesn't have any prior automotive experience. He was in charge of Marvel when Disney acquired it. These are only my speculations at this stage, but I'm sure there will be more updates from Arrival coming soon. And if Arrival recruits a CEO with an automotive background, it may be a sign that the company will continue on its own. However, we might also hear rumors about negotiations with major automotive groups. Tesla, for example, could have extended its offering in the commercial vehicle space by acquiring Arrival. What do you think? Does it sound crazy? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below, and please don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you soon.